Hey, human family, how are you? It's Darren. Welcome to another episode of Fully Alive Again. You guys, today I want to talk about how to better protect your attention. The greatest tool and tactic that a narcissist will use against you is to direct your attention to something they want you to focus on. Narcissists want to elicit our attention to create a certain emotional response out of us, to control our behavior. They want us to focus our attention on minor things to prevent us from accomplishing major things. On today's show, I have 5 powerful tips to help you disarm a toxic person and opt out of their wicked mind games. So let's do what we do and dive deep.
No tears, no fears. Fully alive again after these years.
The Greek philosopher Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." If we give our attention to crazy, we will become crazy. If you give your attention to meaningless things, your life will become meaningless. He said this because he was a firm believer that life is a thinking game. The way that we think and protect our minds will determine the quality of our life. Now, I could spend an entire show on his hypothesis, but how it fits in today's show is significantly more practical. See, if we look at our attention like we look at our money, in fact, attention is more precious than money. It really is. If we view it that way, our lives are going to change in multiple ways. What I'm going to say here is very important. So I want to use a graphic for it to really help cement this into your subconscious mind or into your mind so you never forget it. Because it will help you be more consistent in your boundaries and in the protection of your attention. Because the person that can capture your attention and have you focus on what they want you to focus on instead of what you need to focus on is your puppet master. And it can happen without you even knowing it, as many of us already know. The whole game of narcissistic abuse is capture the attention, like the game we used to play, Capture the Flag, when we were kids. Our job as the target is to protect our attention. The narcissist's job as the evil predator is to steal the attention, manipulate it, and control it. Even though it doesn't seem like it, this game is far more combative than an MMA fight or a NASCAR driving or a boxing match. It is the most dangerous sport and game played on earth. The internal scars that we get from narcissistic abuse take much more time to heal than a broken bone. This really is a combat sport that you can literally lose your life to. If we are not careful, narcissistic abuse is a deadly game, and we have to look at it that way. So let's take a look. Tip number 1, never underestimate the importance of protecting your attention. In order to do this, I believe there are 5 critical, important realities for our survival as human beings, and certainly necessary to live a good life. And the 5 are in the order that they should be. Number 1, we need oxygen or we die. no-brainer. Number 2 is water, another no-brainer. Number 3 is 4, another no-brainer. Number 4 is shelter, another no-brainer. But number 5, control over our attention, is something that's rarely discussed. You see, you guys, this is how high this should be on our list. This is imperative. This is paramount. And any other word you want to throw in there that says your ass needs to put this high on a priority list. This is as real as it gets. Control over our attention gives us the ability to take good care of ourselves, mentally and physically. It gives us the ability to learn, to grow, and expand ourselves. It gives us the ability to travel into our imagination and create the energy, strategies, and tools we need to live a healthy, productive life. It is also the only thing that we truly have control over. Now, this is easier said than done, of course, but we utterly have complete control over our attention. It is amazing. Another amazing gift that we receive as sentient human beings. So now, of course, it's easy to see how protecting our attention is number one. It is that important, you guys. It doesn't matter if it's someone at work or one of your family members or your spouse or your children that are trying to steal your attention and manipulate your mind. If this person was throwing a punch at you or hitting you with a baseball bat, wouldn't you make their behavior a priority and learning ways and means to protect yourself? Wouldn't you consider this urgency? That it was urgent to find a new home, a new way to prevent this person from physically harming you? Emotional harm is even more devastating than physical harm. All right? So tip number 2, the calm mind, calm body approach. As soon as you realize and your intuition is telling you that this person is a manipulator, a toxic person trying to cause you harm, the first thing you need to do is to stay calm, to control the physiology of your body. And it starts with simply thinking to yourself, calm mind, calm body. I'm in control. And then becoming aware of how you are breathing. Calm mind is always the number one shield against a narcissist and toxic person. Calm mind, calm body. I am in control of my mind. Check your breathing and get calm and realize that you are in control. This person can only trigger you or redirect your attention if you allow them to. So why worry about what you can't control, and why worry about what you can control? You can control where you put your attention and how much power you give to another person. And you can become very adept at this if you choose to. Tip number 3 is to create a power moment. This is a jujitsu flip on a person. This is a judo flip. This is an elbow to the chin. This type of phrase will vary. It will change at different times to different people. It all depends on the person that you are doing this to and what is relevant about what you're going to say. A power moment is simply this: complimenting them about something before you go into the discussion. Let's say that I just said something very manipulative to you, and I'm looking at you, waiting for your response and waiting to manipulate you even more. You could simply say, hey, Darren, before I address that, I just wanted to ask you about that red tie you had on last week. I really like that, and I want to get one of those for my boyfriend or my husband or my son. Where did you get that? And I'm sorry that I want to hear what you have to say, but I really like that tie. You see, you throw them off of their game. You slow their roll. Their manipulating momentum has just hit a brick wall, and they're going to have to start all over and come with that same energy again if they can. And you want to share the compliment about something that you really like about them. Yes, even demonic, narcissists, evil ass clowns have something that you can compliment them about. We know this. Could be their shoes, could be their performance at work last week, could be something that they said was funny. Study them like they study you if you know they're a manipulative person. I have tried this and it works like money. I'm telling you, it is powerful. And you use a power moment to redirect their focus and what they're doing. In any situation and tactic that a narcissist does, you can do the same reverse to them. You don't do it to manipulate or control them. You never want to use these tactics for that. You do this to slow their roll and prevent them from damaging you. And it gives you a respite to get your shit together before you go into whatever the manipulative conversation is that they were trying to induce. Okay? Number 4, observe what you are becoming. When you're around a manipulative person, you will feel yourself shrinking because that's what they're trying to do. And whenever someone's trying to manipulate us, there's a certain sunken feeling that we have inside from past abuse. Realize what that is. That is not something to make you a coward or shrink you. That is a warning signal coming from your nervous system. Prepare for battle. There's somebody who is trying to invade your psyche. Get your shit together. How do you get your shit together? Calm mind, calm body. I'm in control. Relax. Know what kind of persons you're dealing with in your work and in your family. And if you cannot escape these people, write down a line item list of what type of person you want to be while dealing with them. And stay aware and observe yourself like you're in a movie. Am I being the type of person that I wrote down that I want to be when I'm dealing with a manipulative person? And once you do that, stick to it. Become so aware of this that it's in your mind that over time it just kicks in. And the same person that you want to be with the people on that list will certainly be the same person you want to be when new manipulators come into your life. You set the boundaries. You enforce those boundaries. One of the boundaries that you should have is that this is who I'm going to be. You are not going to stop me from being the person I want to be. And you make that concrete. And tip number 5 is stop seeking permission and approval. This is a biggie, you guys. As codependents, we are constantly needing the approval of others and looking for permission from others to be ourselves. This is something that you have to be aware of because it stops you from always defending yourself and explaining yourself. It's all right to disagree. You can simply tell someone, this is where we're going to have to agree to disagree. I bid you a good day. Peace. Holla. I'm up. I'm gone. But you can't do this if you're seeking permission to be yourself, or if you need the approval of that person to validate you. It is imperative that we get used to not being liked, get used to conflict and maneuvering out of it without making the other person happy. And if it's a narcissist, come on, man. What are you, high? Why would we even care? They're irrelevant. They're trying to feed, to suck life energy out of you, to confuse you and harm you, to seek permission and approval from this caliber of person is asinine. It's unhealthy. It's crazy. It's puerile. It's immature. Stop seeking permission and approval from toxic people. Just marinate with that for a little bit. Think of how vulgar and horrific these people are. And you're seeking permission and or approval from that caliber of person? Just think how energy draining that is. Just think of the state of fear and exhaustion that way of life is. It's like living with the brakes on. It's impossible to be fully alive. So I hope these 5 tips added some value to your healing journey. And I deeply appreciate you guys stopping by. I got nothing but love for you. And always remember, it's better to be fooled, tricked, betrayed, even abused and damaged by a narcissist than to be a narcissist. You're one step ahead of the game. Never forget that. All right, you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Be well.
No tears, no fears. Fully alive again after these years.